Hey, so greetings everybody and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to work on part 3. So the part 1 is that we got this boilerplate code going. Number 2, we got the import statements for this boilerplate code going, but it doesn't lead anywhere. So we're going to try to focus on making that file. So stay tuned. Let's see how we do this. Okay. All right. Right, and I think we'll just leave this here as reference. So basically, what we kind of want to do, if we actually look at our code here, we see our service implemented file code. Basically, we want to try to copy this example. So we have like a delete card, and basically we want to try to use that functionality there. Right, so, or it looks like, right, so I'm grabbing the stuff in this file, and I'm going to take my time to edit it like so. Right, so now what I essentially done, I replaced everything accordingly with capitalized method name and then the options name. Right, so hopefully everything kind of goes smoothly from here. And then what I would like to do, is that I want to try to get rid of this white space. Right, so I'm gonna do that right now. Right, and this is gonna be the file. Big file, but let's try to see how it all comes together. Right, so now what I want to try to do, so I don't have to worry about any indentation problems. Right, this is going to be at the front of the file, so I'll just say like so. All right, good. Right, so this is my service method file code, and then like that. This statement can be like 1, 2, so I don't have to really worry about it. Right, so it's going to be a service method file code. Right, then I'm just going to go ahead and close it up. Right, so what I need to do, right, I just need to add it in. Right, so I'm not going to need my occurrences for this one. I'm just going to need the let insert POS equals 0. So final is going to be my service method final code, right? And then, right, I'll just say let the changes. Okay, so, right, this is not going to be a change. Well, yeah, it's going to be a change, right? So it's going to be changes. It's going to be this insert change, right? Because I created that file, or else I have to do an update change. And then I just want to try to keep everything generic. So way back here, I just go ahead and where's my service method file, right? And then, there's my service method file, so I don't have to worry about it. And then there's no file. Final is just the service method code, right? And I want to make sure, and I'll say the insert position, and then the target file path. No, I don't want that anymore, right? I just want the service method file path. And then I think just the boot. Yeah, this is not necessarily. This is not really necessary. So let's go to complain. I'm gonna just get rid of this. Hopefully does it. Hopefully I know what this is. So method file. Right, so that's gonna be the service method source file. Right, so there's gonna be those two. And then I want to try to say WL update file host, and then service method file path changes, and then there's no host. So let's uncomment these out and let's try to see what that looks like. Right, so I'll just let everything build. All right, so now here's the moment of the truth. All right, should I see what this all looks like? We go to our contact service here. Right, I want to try to delete everything, and then let's try to see what that looks like. All right, so I got a little error. This doesn't exist. So what I kind of need to do here is that I need to try to create this file. Thought I did, but let's try to see if I could just. I'm kind of doing it a bit wrong. Ultimately, this should be like a file, and there's other methods of trying to create that file, but it shouldn't be like this. All of this should not be in the code. Right, let's just modify it so that it could be according to whatever you want to. So basically, what I'll try to do here is my files is that I have my name dasherize, right? And I really don't want to try to do that. I want to try to say name, and then I want to try to say dot ts, right? So I just really want the original name. That's the options that name. I say name.ts dot template, and then what essentially I want to try to do here is I want to grab all this service method file code, right? And then I want to try to put it in, right? So it's like I guess it was like a good little practice for the time being, but yeah, right, it really can't be like that. So basically, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go grab the use this as a template, and ultimately, right, we can't have. So we're just gonna grab the name. So we're gonna grab these handlebars, and then we're gonna try to replace everything like so. So basically, right, what I want to try to say is everything that starts with this, I essentially, and then I want to try to see, or I could just do one thing here. I could just say export let, and then options like name will practically just become, it's just going to be name, and now I'm not going to classify, I'm just going to grab the name here. Right, and then this capitalized name, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to capitalize. Right, if you kind of look at the method here, and I'll do index.ts, right, it's going to be capitalized. So I'll put that here. Say 1 of 14. Oh. I say capitalize. So I'm going to say say 14, and then we kind of have one more that we're kind of looking for. Is I think it's in. Nah, I think that yeah, it might be in the original service file. Right. So this is going to be my file named ts.template. Template. Good. Good. So we could probably get rid of this, right? This is not going to be as necessary. So what's going to need to happen here is that in my update service file, what essentially what I'm trying to do is I want to these files I'm going to have to apply. I'm going to have to apply to try to. I'm going to have to apply so that I can try to create those files in the current context, right? So basically, what I got to try to do here now is I want to try to get my options, right? So okay, so I got my classify, right? That string's that classify, right? But I need capitalize, right? So I'm gonna say strings out capitalize. So when you capitalize on that, and then I'm gonna need the rest of my options, right? So the URL is gonna be files, and then move, then normalize, right? So basically, what I want to try to say here is that I'm gonna apply this logic from the files, right, to combine everything in here, then move, and then strings dash rest options on name. So move is probably going to it's going to have to end up in the file here, right? So this logic, and I kind of threw away my files, bad idea, but let's try to see, right? So we have the service method file, and we can just delete this, and that's needed, right? And then from right here, right, I could just go ahead and say my service method file. So it's going to artist path, and then the options name.ts. So instead of normalize all that, or I could just go ahead and say service method file path, right? And then we're going to see how that looks, right? And now, essentially what I want to try to do here is I want to try to use this in the chain. Okay, so say merge. Right, so basically I'm going to merge. So basically I'm going to merge this tree, right, with the template source, right? And then basically this is like template source right here. So now I got to get that import for the merge with. So I say I'm going to merge into the tree. So it's going to come from my schematics. Hopefully it's here, right? And then that should be good to go. Right, so I kind of did it wrong the first way, but hopefully, you know, kind of redeem our little mistake here, and then we kind of get going. And then ultimately, when it comes to these functions, right, you want to try to have like logic like this in its own, but you kind of see that this isn't like that helpful method, right? It would be much easier to see than the chain, but I think this is going to be much smoother. And I also want this to be a function. So I can just do that. I'll probably make it a function in a bit. But with that, let's try to see if we can generate anything we kind of need to generate here. Alright, so let's go ahead. Yeah, now we got like these. So I don't like these schematic errors, and I hope anyone can change this because I have no clue what's going on. No clue. I've got this clue what's going on. So let's see. I kind of see what's going on. So looking here for somehow that name kind of made it in a place it's not supposed to make it. So name. So hopefully that's the issue. All right, so now let's just try this again. Right. All right, good. So now my service method, yeah, so not quite. We don't necessarily want that. Let's try to see. My service method.ts. So it kind of made a folder called my service. Yeah, you don't want to try to see. So everything's kind of looking correct, but we don't want to see that. So we're almost there. So let's try to see if we could just fix this up. Just go ahead and delete. Let's try to go ahead here. So I kind of see the mistake I made here. So this is not quite necessary. It looks like. Right, so that's going to try to indicate that there's a folder because I'm going to get name.ts from here. Right, so let's try to see. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. Right, and now let's see what that's going to look like. It's just waiting for it to build. Maybe there's like a pause. Just know, guys, I was like waiting for it to build. All right, so look at that. So now we have the my service method, right? So we don't have errors. Let's see what type of errors we kind of get. Right, so we only get two errors next. So basically, context service is saying that this doesn't exist on this property. So let's try to finish that out. Right, so basically, that's how we go about making new files with schematics. Everything looks nice and cool. All this stuff we go into brand. So thanks for watching, guys.